There are days when you wake up feeling completely normal, but life decides to test your hardness in the most unexpected ways. No warning, no mercy. It just looks you straight in the face and pushes. That morning, you walk into the meeting like any other day. Laptop in hand, slide open, you take a breath to begin. But the moment you get the first two words out, a cold, sharp voice cuts across the room like a blade slicing through silk. Let me be honest. Your proposal is completely unrealistic. The entire room solidifies. The atmosphere drops to another depth, heavy, thick, and simmering. Some people avoid your eyes. Others look up, waiting to see whether you explode or stay in control. Your heart beats a little faster. Heat rises along your neck. That familiar feeling of being slapped by words, leaving no mark but hurting in its own unique way. You want to fire back instantly. Did you even read the full document? What do you understand about my proposal? Don't speak to me in that disrespectful tone, but you stop. You're stuck between two opposing forces, the instinct to attack and the discipline to remain in control. In that exact second, you recall a quote from Marcus Aurelius, one you once dismissed as theoretical philosophy until now, when it suddenly feels like it's saving you in real life. If something angers you, ask, is it the truth or is it just your ego being touched? You look at the person who attacked you. His face is flushed from tension, not confidence. And in that tiny moment you understand, other people's insults are not truth. They are merely reflections of emotions they cannot control. You inhale slowly, as if you're pulling your entire spirit back before it rushes forward. No counterattack, no interruption, no attempt to prove yourself right. Only the pause, the thing Seneca called the art of the strong. He once wrote, "The angry man is the one who lets others control his mind." You will not hand that power to anyone. A gentle silence appears inside you like a still lake waiting for the sky to reflect upon it. And in that silence, you recognize the most important thing. This moment does not define you. Your reaction is what defines you. You are not that insult. You are not the triggered emotion. You are not the heat rising inside your chest. You are the one who chooses how to respond. You nod slightly and lift your gaze. No bitterness, no boiling blood, only a sharp, clear awareness. And from that very moment, your journey of self-mastery begins. Response 1, I see your point. How to shift from anger to understanding in your family. The morning meeting ends and you leave the office feeling like you just ran 10 kilometers with a backpack full of rocks. Your mind keeps replaying the words completely unrealistic, like a scratched disc stuck in a loop. You think you've gotten over it, then realize you've only been pretending to. You get home hoping for a bit of peace. But life has a habit of testing you exactly when you're most exhausted. The moment you set your keys on the table, your partner steps out from the kitchen, eyes carrying a hint of disappointment. You're always busy. Lately, I feel like the family isn't your priority anymore. The words aren't loud, not sharp, not as piercing as what your colleague fired at you earlier. But they make your heart stop for a beat, a kind of soft, quiet hurt that sinks deeper. You just took a hit at work and now another one at home. Your emotions mix together, fatigue, pride, pressure, and a touch of unfairness. You want to fire back immediately. Do you even know what I went through today? Who do you think I'm working for? That's not fair for you to say. But then you look into your partner's eyes, not an opponent, not someone trying to defeat you, but someone trying to understand you, even though their words stung. You remember Epictetus? We have two ears and one mouth so that we may listen twice as much as we speak. You take a deep breath, let your ego step back and say, I see your point. Can you help me understand what exactly makes you feel that way? The room falls quiet. Your partner looks surprised. 2 seconds ago, they were prepared for battle, and now you've pulled them into a space of sharing instead. A flicker of negative emotion passes across their face. Not anger anymore, but something softer, as if they finally felt seen. And then they begin to talk. The nights you came home late, the dinners without you, the times the kids asked, where's dad? The recent months where the house became so quiet they got used to being just 3 people. As you listen, a truth settles in. They're not upset about the actions they're hurting because they don't feel seen, valued, or prioritized. Seneca once said, no one is angry for the reason they say. They are angry because of the pain they cannot say. When you use the phrase, I see your point, Help me understand more. You open the door for the real pain to step out instead of arguing over always never and you don't care. You walk closer, place your hand on their shoulder, a simple gesture, yet more powerful than 1,000 apologies. I hear you. And I'm here. The tension dissolves. You're no longer standing on opposite sides of the battlefield. Just two people trying to understand each other a little more. You realize a single sincere question can save a whole evening. It can save a whole relationship. And you also realize Stoicism doesn't make people emotionless. Stoicism helps people feel without being controlled by their feelings. Response 2, you're absolutely right. The art of admitting fault to win. This morning you were attacked in a meeting. In the evening you faced the hurt feelings of your partner. And now the very next day you walk into your third meeting in a row, this time with the team's biggest client. To be honest, you just want one day that isn't stressful. But life has its own way of testing your durability, like testing a car on a mountain road. You sit down and the client looks straight at you. No greeting, no small talk. Your team is late on the deadline again. This isn't a one-time issue or a two-time issue. It's becoming a habit. The air turns cold like the AC is set to 16 degrees. A few people on your team instinctively lower their heads as if avoiding the accusing stare. A familiar heaviness presses on your chest. A part deep inside you wants to reply instantly because we didn't get enough information from your side, because the requirements keep changing, because there are too many things outside our control. And you'd be right. You have every reason to defend yourself. But what exhausts you isn't the mistake. It's the feeling that you're always on the defensive, not respected, not acknowledged for your effort, not understood. A bit of negativity seeps in, mildly bitter, but real. But right then you remember Epictetus. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. If you truly want respect, I must choose your direction deliberately, not react out of emotion. You look straight at the client, your voice calm. You're absolutely right. And here's how I will fix it immediately. The sentence drops onto the meeting table like a heavy stone. No one says anything for 2 seconds. The client pauses, clearly not expecting you to take this route. You continue, clear and decisive. I will implement a new progress tracking system this week. Every Friday, you'll receive detailed updates so you're never caught off guard again. For the current project, I'll take personal responsibility to guarantee the new deadline is met. No excuses, no blame, no avoidance. The room shifts. The client's tone softens. Your team looks at you differently, no longer with fear, but with trust. The client leans back in his chair and exhales, right? Let's talk about how to optimize our workflow. From confrontation to conversation, from tension to cooperation. Stoicism doesn't turn you into someone who silently endures. Stoicism turns you into someone strong enough to admit fault when you are wrong, clear-headed enough not to accept blame when you're not, and courageous enough to turn conflict into solutions. Seneca had a quote that fits this moment perfectly. The strong are not those who never make mistakes, but those who correct them faster than anyone else. You walk out of the meeting with a strange feeling. Not completely light, but cleaner. Not instantly happy, but unmistakably more mature. A quiet kind of strength is forming inside you. The strength of someone who doesn't need to defeat others, sign only their own ego. Response 3, that's an interesting perspective. When a stranger's sarcasm can't shake your calm. After days of mental battles at work and emotional turbulence at home, you decide to give yourself a refreshing evening by attending the birthday party of an old friend. You think, finally I can relax. But life is rarely as gentle as we hope. It always keeps a few tests hidden in the places where we're least guarded. You're chatting happily when a stranger, a friend of your friend, joins the conversation. No greeting, no introduction, just a quick glance at you from head to toe before dropping a bland yet bitter remark. Oh, you're a freelancer, must be nice. Just playing with a laptop and still making money. Monotone voice but half mocking. A joke. That carries no joke at all. You feel a tiny needle prick your pride. Not enough to make you lose control, but enough to create that familiar pinch, the subtle discomfort spreading inside your chest. You want to respond. What do you know about my job? Try doing it yourself and see. Or even something sharper like, does putting others down make you feel smarter? but you're tired of pointless battles. You've experienced enough to know that reacting instinctively would drag you right into their game. You recall Marcus Aurelius. Offense is a choice, you choose whether to accept it, so you choose something else. A response that makes the whole table go silent for a few seconds. You smile just enough that neither mocking nor stiff. That's an interesting perspective. What makes you think that? The man blinks. He clearly came prepared for an argument, but you opened an interview instead. The atmosphere shifts completely. From battleground to a room for examining motives. He starts stumbling over his words. Well, I heard people say that, and I kind of just assumed. You observe without feeling triumphant. You simply see one thing. People often attack when they don't understand or when they fear confronting their own lack of knowledge. And when you ask a question, you make them stand in front of their own shadow. Epictetus once said, "When you seek knowledge, ask. When you seek the truth about others, also ask." Everyone at the table looks at him, not judging, just seeing clearly. Seeing that his earlier comment wasn't built on understanding, but on assumptions. He presses his lips together, exhales and mutters, "Honestly, I don't really know what freelancers do. Sorry if I went too far." You nod, gentle, like a pat on the shoulder from within. It's okay. Every job has its unseen struggles. No counterattack, no loss of composure. Just a small lesson surfacing in the middle of a party. When you stay calm, people notice their own instability. You take a sip of water. The party becomes lively again. And you know you've just won, not against him, but against the impulsive version of yourself. Response 4. I appreciate you sharing that. The art of turning an attack into collaboration. After days of exhaustion from work and personal emotions, you assume the weekend will be a small pause to recharge. A peaceful morning, you open the door to grab the mail, intending to take a deep breath and enjoy the calm air. But then, your neighbor's door swings open. He steps out, face red with irritation. Eyebrows tightened into a sharp knife-like line. I need to say this straight. Your dog has been barking all morning every time you leave for work. The whole neighborhood is going crazy. A sudden stab. No greeting, no softening, not even the minimum level of courtesy. Just raised volume, pent-up frustration, and eyes full of annoyance. Your stomach knots a little, because you know you didn't mean for this to happen. You just adopted the dog a week ago. You're still figuring out how to train it. And more importantly, you don't like being spoken to in such an accusatory tone. A bit of negativity stirs inside you. You could have said that more politely. Do you have any idea how stressed I've been? So now I'm responsible for the entire neighborhood. But you stay still, not responding immediately. You let the emotion move through you, like water flowing past a rock. It doesn't break the rock, and the rock doesn't block the water. You recall Seneca. Another person's anger does not have to become the fire that burns your peace. You take a long breath, then you drop a sentence no one expects. I appreciate you telling me directly. I honestly didn't know this was happening, and I'm glad you brought it up so I can fix it quickly. Time seems to pause. Your neighbor, who was ready to launch into a whole list of complaints, suddenly freezes, blinking rapidly. He didn't expect gratitude. That surprise knocks the tension out of the air like a cloth falling from someone's hand. His voice softens noticeably. Well, I know having a new dog makes things hard to control. I'm just a bit sleep-deprived lately. Honestly, I didn't mean to upset you. A minute ago, he was a storm. A minute later, he's a light drizzle. You nod sincerely. Please feel free to let me know if it happens again. I'll train him as quickly as I can. The two of you stand there in a silence that no longer smells of conflict, but of newly formed cooperation. You feel lighter. Not because you avoided an argument, but because you turned an adversary into an ally. Epictetus once said, "No one is your enemy unless you decide to become theirs." And you recognize that truth more clearly than ever. The quiet morning returns. Your neighbor walks back into his house, no longer with that stiff, tense posture. You watch him go and smile, gentle, not triumphant. A problem solved, a relationship mended. And once again, you understand that Stoicism isn't silent endurance. Stoicism is mastering your irritation so you can open the door to cooperation. Response 5, I need more time to think. When calmness saves you from the trap of quick reactions. Wednesday morning, you've just placed your cup of coffee on the table when your phone vibrates. There's an urgent meeting. Come to the executive room immediately. Your heart skips a beat. Nobody likes the word urgent. It always comes with a vague sense that something bad is about to happen. You walk into the room and the air feels heavy, as if the whole place is holding its breath. On the table lies a report covered in red. The company's major project is facing a serious problem. Your manager turns to you, looking at you as if you're the only one who can deliver the life-saving answer. Should we choose direction A or direction B? Decide now, here, right this moment. You feel a wave of pressure hitting your chest. Everyone is staring at you. Some eyes are tense, some look judgmental. Others are full of expectation, hoping you'll rescue them from this mess. You open your mouth then. Freeze. The truth is, you don't have enough data. And if you choose wrong, everything will fall on your shoulders. Your mind races. If I stay silent too long, they'll think I'm indecisive. If I just guess, I could drag the entire team off a cliff. A line from Epictetus echoes in your head. Nothing is more dangerous than action taken before the mind is ready. You swallow hard. The pressure sends blood rushing to your face, and you can hear your own heartbeat in your ears. This is the kind of situation that can destroy your reputation in 10 seconds or help you grow 10 years. Every pair of eyes is still fixed on you. You inhale deeply, releasing each wave of tension in your chest. Then, with a calmness so unexpected that the whole room pauses, you say, "This is a major decision. I need more time to analyze the data before choosing a direction. I will get back to you within a few hours." A silence spreads, not the uncomfortable kind, but the silence of a mature decision. Your manager raises an eyebrow, but you can tell it's not annoyance, it's surprise. Everyone was bracing for a rushed answer, but you chose a strategic step back. The room softens. Someone from the team speaks quietly. "Honestly, I also think we should review the data." Another adds, "It's better to avoid unnecessary risks." One by one, they align with you. You realize a powerful truth: not reacting immediately is not weakness, it's wisdom. Seneca once warned, haste is the root of mistakes. You refuse to let others drag you into their rhythm. You keep your own, and because of that, you save the entire team from an impulsive decision. 3 hours later, you submit the optimal solution backed by data-clear strategy and controlled risks. Your manager nods approvingly. "This is the decision I was hoping for." You step out of the room and exhale. A lightness pours into your chest like fresh air. You understand more clearly what the Stoics have taught for thousands of years. In silence, there is wisdom. In delay, there is strength. And in calmness, you are truly the one in control. Response 6, that's your opinion. Here's my standard. When you set boundaries without ever getting angry. That afternoon, after a string of meetings and tangled problems, you just want to step outside for a moment to breathe, to feel like a human being instead of a machine powered by responsibility. You stop by your usual coffee shop, order a hot latte, and look for a quiet table. You hope a few minutes alone will help your mind loosen up. But just as you're setting your bag on the chair, a stranger, well-dressed but with an arrogant look in his eyes, walks past, glances at you, and drops a bizarre comment. Sitting like that makes you look really insecure. I prefer people who are decisive. The statement has nothing to do with you. You've never met this person. And you certainly didn't ask for his opinion. But it lightly brushes against that part of your self-esteem that has already been worn down through the week. A discomfort rises, not strong like anger, but like a tiny thorn pressed into your palm, small but sharp. You think, why judge me? I was minding my own business. This isn't something you say to a stranger. A part of you wants to fire back. Nobody asked for your opinion. Or, what do you even know about me to judge? But you pause. Instead of letting emotion pull you along, you let reason keep you grounded. You recall Marcus Aurelius, build a strong wall around your mind. Nothing can enter unless you open the gate. You take a light breath, look straight at the man, not hostile, not stiff, but with the calmness of someone who knows their own worth. Then you speak, your voice steady and composed. That's your opinion. Here's my standard, a simple sentence, but strong enough to put everything back in its proper place. The man freezes. His eyes blink rapidly as if someone has splashed a cold bucket of truth onto him. You didn't react aggressively, but your calm made it impossible for him to continue his little psychological attack. He fumbles, then forces an awkward smile. "Oh, I was just joking. Didn't mean to offend." You nod lightly, not needing to win, not needing to dominate. It's all right, as long as we treat each other with respect. Then you pull out your chair, sit down, and return to your coffee. The rest of the afternoon passes peacefully, more peacefully than you expected. And you realize Stoicism doesn't teach you to swallow everything. Stoicism teaches you to speak, but speak in a way that demands respect. Epictetus had a line perfectly suited for that moment. Your boundaries are yours to define, not someone else's to decide. You drew the line. You stood firmly behind it. And you didn't need to raise your voice for anyone to understand that you carry dignity. When you look back on your entire journey, from the unexpected attacks in meetings to the tender moments of being emotionally hurt at home, from the pressure of clients to the disrespect of strangers, from the neighbor's anger to the moments where you had to make crucial decisions, you realize something strange. You are no longer the person you were last week. Not because life has become easier, not because people have become kinder, not because you suddenly became stronger, but because you have learned how to master your reactions. Every situation you went through, the pain, the discomfort, the frustration, the hurt, the feeling of being underestimated, all of it has been a mirror reflecting your own inner strength. In the past, you were easily pulled into arguments. You reacted instinctively. You let other people's emotions dictate your state of mind. But now you know how to pause. You know how to breathe. You know how to choose your response. You know how to set boundaries. You know how to remain silent when needed. And most importantly, you know that peace is not a gift from outside. It is a skill forged from within. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "No one can disturb your peace unless you allow it." You walked a long journey to understand that line, not through words, but through real experiences in everyday moments, sometimes painful, sometimes sharp, sometimes pushing you to the edge where you wanted to explode. But you didn't. You chose deliberate reaction. You chose calmness. You chose dignity. You chose wisdom. And the truth is, you won. Not by defeating someone else, but by defeating your own impulse to erupt. That is the kind of victory only a mature person understands. Stoicism doesn't make you emotionless. Stoicism makes you unshakable. A message for you: this journey has only just begun. If these stories touched you, if you recognize yourself in any of these situations, if you feel even 1% stronger, then you are walking the same path the great philosophers walked 2,000 years ago. And I want to walk that path with you every day. If you want to become someone who cannot be rattled by others' words, who doesn't get pulled into drama, who isn't crushed by pressure or insult, hit subscribe. Leave a comment about the part that felt the most painful or eye-opening. Share this video with someone who needs to learn the art of staying calm. You are not just learning Stoicism. You are becoming stoic bit by bit, day by day.